Wow, it feels good to play in the home. I thought in a game that I knew would be ugly. I have so much respect for Kentucky. Obviously, they're the defending SEC tournament champs for a reason. They have a great program, and I've said this when people ask me, about the schedule or where, who you're playing, that, you might get a break. Don't say that in women's basketball, all right? Because the bottom and top, there's barely any separation. They had a week of preparation, and I knew we were going to get their best punch. We actually got punched in the first quarter, which we haven't done that all year. And I talked to my team before the game started. This was going to be a game of what ifs because they're so good and throw so many different looks. What if they jump on us right away? How are we going to handle it? What if they hit us with a back screen? Are we going to continue to fight? But tonight's storyline was, well, what if somebody gets in foul trouble? Who's going to step up? What if somebody gets hurt and doesn't come back in the game? What if calls don't go our way? But again, that's what championship DNA is. It's not a script. But if you can take the cards that are dealt to you and you can handle it together as a team, man, special things can happen and we can have a special season. And I love this team and I'm so excited about where we're going.
Annie has been in a different role this year, and last year she was kind of the centerpiece of the scoring part of things. And I know you've had her, everybody's kind of getting involved, but today she looked a lot like she looked last year, kind of taking charge on the offensive end, scored a lot of points in the second half. And what did you see from her today?
One of the best point guards in the country. What our fans know and have watched over time that I got firsthand. I've said it so many times. This young lady's taken on so many different head coaches. And it's the first thing I said, just give me time. It's a different language, it's a different set, it's different players. And you know what? She's handled it with class. And she's done it one of the best in the SEC, especially before she was out the last game. She was leading the SEC in assists. I think at the time she leads us in assist to turnover ratio. So it speaks volumes about her, and again, why I think she's one of the best point guards in the country. And tonight, I thought there was a poise about her, like you said, that couldn't be denied. She was comfortable. She was comfortable in a jersey. We had great conversations on the bench. She had adversity and foul trouble, but you know what? She was like, Coach, I got you, and we're going to win this game. And then for her to go 9 for 10 with everything that was thrown at her tonight, some tough calls. She was getting hit, but that's Annie Hayes. And I couldn't be more proud of her and her performance in the game that she's came back.
In the second half, you guys come out firing, and Kentucky continues to find answers. Can you talk a little bit about how you were able to sustain the momentum through that all the way until the end?
One, the hump, okay, in a game that is we back Pat, all right, we packed the hump, and we brought the juice, all right? It was just a vibe like we couldn't be denied. You're struggling to score. We go to the line, we make 2 clutch free throws, and then here comes the hump. That's why I love this place. And you just felt that wave. And they hit a tough one, but it was the support of the fans that was like, man, we can get this. And then, again, you got to give a lot of credit to Kentucky. They're tough. I know they're heartbroken. They probably had 3 games. They had Missouri. They've had, us. I can't think of the other one on the top of my head, but they've been in games all the way to the wire. And again, I think last year they were at a 7 seed going into the SEC tournament and won it, if I'm correct. But they're just tough. They space the floor and they give you multiple matchups. So much credit to Kentucky and why this game came out like it did. But again, I have a team that I've told them, we're at the point of the year that you play your best basketball in March, and it's our job as a coaching staff to get out of the way. When the players take over, and I'll never forget this picture, the Final Four team, when those 5 starters were locked in arms and they walked down. All right, that gives me chill bumps to this day. But when you look at a picture's worth a million words, and that picture made a statement to me, and that's what I want my young women to understand. When you get that picture or that look, it's an undeniable that, you know what, my teammates, we ain't losing. We got this, and I thought they had that swag tonight.
With just backing off Robbie's question about Annie, how did it feel knowing that she's made all those free throws, sending her to the line when it's tied up, you just need her to sink one? How did you feel? You confidence in her? What were your emotions?
Oh, I knew she had it. Again, like he said, asked her, there was her body language throughout the game. There was a poise where she was never rattled. She was hit. She fell down, but you know what? She got up. She got in foul trouble, but she got up. So to that question at the end, when it's the fourth quarter and it's on the line, I knew it was going to go in. She just had a look. And I've been doing this for 20 years, and there's a swagger about an elite player and that you just can't describe. And she had that look tonight.
Dan, go ahead.
There was a stretch about 6 minutes left in the game. You're down 5. Jessica gets the 3-point play, and then you take her out of the game. Was that a rest thing? I think she was 31 points, 31 minutes at that point.
It was foul trouble, 4 fouls. I think it was at the point Paige did a great job being in my ear, offense, defense. And then again, that's why I love my team. I got trust. Ramani Parker, hello. All right, welcome back. Welcome back, Ramani. All right, feels good. I got more cards. I'm a better coach. All right, obviously we missed Danae, but Charlie, now I can mix it up. I can put some people to give her a breather. There's multiple reasons. And I don't have to play her 40 because we have a team. And that I thought those minutes in the meantime to keep her out of foul trouble and other people step up is why we won the game.
Did those same minutes allow her to get that end to end to draw that charge? Was that the fastest you ever seen her go end to end?
Well, here's the thing. I would like to do a poll on Twitter. I might actually get the video. Here's the poll I want. What's more impressive, the end to end charge or the steal and the handles? All right, that she had to finish a layup. I thought she was a point guard for a second. All right, I mean, who does that at her size and her presence? But again, I can say about so many people. I think Annie Hayes is one of the best point guards in the country. Jessica Carter is one of the best bigs in the country. They were named to All SEC for a reason, and it's coming out. Boy, are they believing, and they're giving our team a lift.
Stefan, go ahead.
You talked a bit about it on the post-game radio show there, but you said this team doesn't have any bad losses. You feel like they have potential to be an NCAA tournament team. I guess how important was securing this win to get above 500 in SEC play and get a 3-game winning streak going, like you said, at the right time of the season?
It was huge. Would you say we're above what?
Above 500.
Amen. That sounds good. I just like hearing it. I ain't gonna lie. All right, this league's tough. Every game matters. Every game matters. And so again, this is a team that's on a journey that we're trying to do something special. I told everybody when I took this job, a lot of times you say, you know what, I'll wait 2 to 3 years. But with the transfer portal and the ones who came in, Alana Smith, Asian A. Johnson, come on, I can talk about her all day too. To her energy. I'm an energy guy, and boy, does she bring energy. We just made a slogan, why not us? Why not when everybody writes a narrative that says, you know what, Mississippi State hopefully will come back in 2 or 3 years? We don't like that narrative. But I told them, you know what, if you want to change the narrative, you got to go out and you got to go get it. And to your point, to play at home, you got to protect home. And it was huge for us to find a way to come out with a win today to keep us on path of what our goals are ultimately.
Great.
What is it specifically about this team that gives you the confidence in them to keep their composure down the stretch in these situations to, get that charge, draw that foul, that you can just kind of sit on the bench and know that they're going to take care of business?
Great question. You know what the answer to that is? Telling me to shut up. There's a look, I'm serious. When a player can tell me, and they're saying it in a polite way, so I want to make sure I stick to that, that, you know what, coach, we got this. Or, you know what, they'll hit somebody, all right, and say, you know what, bounce back. You can't put a price tag on that. But again, I've been fortunate to be part of 2 Final Four teams, and I know that DNA, and that's what I've been trying to get out of them. For us to start the first quarter, we were fine, and every time out, we were just like, y'all, if we don't turn it over, and we can find a way to get stops, get it to 2. We tried to. Jerk, I think, dived on the floor. Andy, somebody had a crazy one that gave him a 3-point or 5-point or free throws at the end with 2.6 seconds. It was crazy, but they just fought and they didn't get emotional. And we do a towel that when you sub in, I always tell my players, don't get mad when you sub in for the next person. That's not them coming and saying, hey, I want to go in the game. I'm gonna go get the kid. I make that decision. But when you go in and sub in the game and then you're going in and you're the one coming out and you can say, you know what, go keep it going. Or, hey, don't let her get it. And that behavior starts to happen. That's when special things happen. And I saw that today.
Robin.
Do you have an update on Jerk?
I don't. I got blindsided on that one, I'm going to be honest. Somebody just said she couldn't go the rest of the game, so I'm waiting to talk to my trainer and find out what's up. But boy, was she energetic on the bench. I was like, we sure she's out? Because boy, she's energetic.
Stefan.
To follow up on that, was her injury related at all to? I know she came up limping there a bit in the second quarter. She did come back in the game.
I honestly, I really don't know. I'm serious. I mean, we were so caught up in a game that was going back and forth. All I know is one of my assistants said, hey, she's out the rest of the game. And I said, oh, God, let me take the jacket off. It's getting hot in here now. I said, boy, I mean, we've had all kind of cards, right? Danae, Jerk. But again, that's what's special about this group. One goes down, but one comes up, and we had a bunch step up today.
Sam,
I asked the girls this and I have to ask you too. Was there something that you said or maybe even the players said in the halftime locker room that just kind of changed this game for y'all? You can tell a polar difference from first half to second half. What were those things that were said?
Yeah, I think it was, I wrote up on the board, first quarter score was 18-8. I wrote second quarter was 20-15, that we won that second quarter. So I said, there's 4 quarters. You lost the first one, but you got a chance to win 3. And what do we go do? Third quarter, we win 22-15. And then also the fourth quarter was 28-17. They won by 1. But it was that mindset of we got plenty of time. And I kept telling them, you're playing at home. If you can keep this close, that's what I love about the Hump. Our fans are very knowledgeable fans. And I've been a lot of places, y'all, where you show up, but you got to teach them the game. All right? Our fans know when they got to come in, when they have to talk. They help me a lot with the refs. I appreciate that. All right? And most importantly, they give me a lot of heck on social media. But I love them. All right? But they were huge tonight. And I just told them, if you stay in it, watch how we come out. And I felt like all that came to life.
Your team's dealt with a lot this week as far as the Auburn lead kind of got away and then held on and surged late.
Yeah.
Today had to battle back. You kind of mentioned earlier dealing with the cards that you're dealt and had some folks out and things. But just this week, did you learn anything about this team? Like, is there anything extra that you pulled out and take away from this
Yeah,
week?
that great question. You know what I learned this week? We're tough. We're tough. All those moments you're talking about, adversity, starting early but then losing the lead. Tonight was, they jumped on us early but we came back. That's toughness, all right? Adversity. We want something. We're trying to go somewhere, but when adversity hits and you want something so bad and you see it in front of you and you feel like you're going to be denied, you got to be tough. And that's what I felt this week. There's a good juju in that locker room. I wanted to enjoy it and just ride this wave.
Time for 2 more. David and Stefan.
When Jessica did throw the charge, you had the usual heart stop moment. Was it a charge? Was it a block? What's he going to call?
Play it at the Hump. I think my fans helped me on that one. They were yelling charge about halfway at half court, so I think they might have influenced that one. So credit to the Hump.
I know, this has been a thing in the SEC for a few years now, but obviously your first time. What did it mean to, take off the blazer and have that T-shirt on, underneath and play for We Back Pat?
Yeah, it's ironic. Great question. I appreciate asking me that. Obviously, I knew Pat, and I'm about this cloth. When I started 20 years ago, I'll never forget when she came in the gym. And again, this was an icon. This was a legend like no other. For those who don't know, those who've been in the game long enough know what she brings to women's basketball, and most importantly, women, and how she changed a lot of stances and narratives and storylines and how much she just brought to life. But my favorite Pat story moment is when she came out of the locker room, and a lot of big-time coaches don't do this. She went down from the bottom of the bench all the way to the head coach, and she shook everybody's hand. And to me, and I was one of those, that's when I was little. I wasn't nobody, okay? Still am, if you ask my girls, right? All right, I better take you to ice cream or else I'm in trouble. But it's her character. It's the way that, you know what, I'm not just gonna go show you love if you're somebody big time. I appreciate everyone. Anybody who's a part of women's basketball, anybody that might not have a title to their name. She was a woman of class, and boy, she is dearly missed. And it's awesome that the SEC has chose to honor her and what she's about. And she was tough. And it's funny how all those things came to life in a game that played in her name.
All right, thanks, everybody.